What is up, TFW fam? Today we are going to be going over our stance. Now, your stance is pretty much the foundation of every bit of kickboxing that you're going to learn. So if you don't get that right, pretty much all that you learn on top of that is going to be off balance and just generally not right. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started with our kickboxing stance. So the first thing we're going to do is get our feet about shoulder width apart. From there, we want to unlock our legs a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a half step back, about a body length distance with our rear foot. That is going to put a 45 degree across our hips and shoulders. We want to be careful when we do this step that we don't come in line like this. It's going to put us in this Karate Kid stance, not great for kickboxing. The other thing we can do, which is wrong, is stepping too far back. It's going to give us too wide a base and hurt our mobility. So once we've got our position, we want to talk about where our arms go. People sort of instinctually have this bad habit of either picking their elbows up or out to the side like this. It's pretty common with newer people, and it's just not a safe position. The reason being is that when my arms are in front of me like that, if I block my head, I'm exposing my body. And if I block my body, I'm exposing my head. Once I drop that shoulder back to 45 degrees and I raise and lower my guard with my shoulders instead of my arms, suddenly I'm able to protect everything at once. Now I want to talk about a couple common mistakes I see with the legs. One is people tend to stick their rear foot out to the side like this and keep it there. That's a really hard muscle memory to unlearn, and it's not beneficial because once your foot's turned like that, your gait is all messed up, your mobility's gone, and that leg can't be loose. Turn it in, you got mobility again, you can walk with it. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is keeping that foot a little more forward. It doesn't have to be like on skis. The other thing is people tend to lock their legs out. You want a nice loose bend in your knees. Otherwise you look like you're on stilts. No good. You want that kind of relaxed bend in your knees, and we're going to shift our weight kind of right to left, right to left, right to left, sort of like you're jumping rope, and just kind of find that relaxed position there. And last, I want to briefly go over movement. When we're moving, it's important that when we take a step, we're taking the same amount of space with both feet. So if I take 6 inches with my rear foot going backwards, I take 6 inches with my lead foot going forward. The problem is people tend to overstep. So they take 6 inches and then they take 10 inches on the right. You end up square. A lot of times people will overstep the first one and you end up too wide. So you got to make sure that you're taking the exact same amount of space with both steps. That'll just keep you ready to fight at any given time. The other thing you want to watch out for is letting your back leg trail in as you move. You end up back in that Karate Kid stance, out of position. So that's just some things to keep in mind for the stance. Keep in mind this style is sort of a Dutch Muay Thai style of stance. Different martial arts have different styles, and everything has its merit, but this is just how we do it here, and I hope this helped, and we will see you next time.